Each year, construction work injures and kills people who have no direct connection or link with the construction activities. Most of these accidents and complaints could have been avoided. This training aims to advise you how this can be achieved. The advice is mainly concerned with preventing accidents and ill health to the public, but it may also help reduce nuisance issues. It identifies the hazards and risks which most commonly affect the public and visitors at the construction sites. It outlines the law which is most relevant to protecting the public and provides advice on how you can comply with your duties, how you can define and maintain the site perimeter, and keep the public separated from construction work. It highlights the importance of authorizing workers and visitors who come on your site even for short periods. It also indicates where problems are most likely to be encountered and suggests ways to control them. Basically, this training is aimed at everyone involved in the construction process. It provides practical advice on how those designing, planning, maintaining, and carrying out construction work can minimize the risk to those who are not involved in the construction process but may be affected. Hey, this is Javed, and you are on the platform of safety first. But here, the first and number one priority is to protect life. Today, we are discussing about how the construction activities affecting the public. If you are new on this channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon. And if you find the video informative, then like, comment, and share with your friends and colleagues. Dear friends and fellows, as you know, construction activities affecting the public all around the globe. But today we'll learn who might be affected by the construction operations and how we can protect them from harm. We will also focus on providing suitable protection for those carrying out construction work will often help to protect others who may be affected by it. The precautions which need to be taken to adequately protect the public and visitors may, however, differ from those taken to protect those working on the site. The public are likely to be less aware of the dangers involved with the construction process than those working on site. This knowledge gap can be managed by good communication and sharing relevant information. Dear friends and colleagues, visitors to site, including experienced construction workers, may also require additional information if they are unsure of the site layout. Specific groups, such as children, need special consideration because of their vulnerability. Certain classes of premises also need special attention because of the nature of the work. This safety training session attempts to explain what is reasonable for such special cases by considering problems and their solutions. But this will not cover illegal trespass or forced entry onto the construction site by those intent on criminal activities. First of all, let us look what the law says about the public safety. We'll go through Health and Safety at Work Act 1974. The Act places a duty on all employers and the self-employed to take reasonably practicable steps to ensure the health and safety of people who are not in their employment, such as members of the public. The Act also places a duty on employees to cooperate with their employer on health and safety matters and not to do anything which puts others at risk. So it is clear cut, a legal requirement. Keep in your good mind to protect public from the harms of Construction activities is a legal responsibility of the employer as well as of the employees. Another regulation, Management of Health and Safety at Work Regulation 1999. The Management of Health and Safety at Work Regulations 1999 are intended to improve health and safety management and to detail what is required of employers and in some cases the self-employed under the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974. Under the regulation, the employers have to assess in particular the risk to the health and safety of their employees and of others who may be affected by the work activities. This is for the purpose of identifying the necessary preventive and protective measures. Employers with five or more employees must record the significant findings of this assessment and cooperate and share information with any other employer who is sharing the same workplace. Today we are discussing about how we can protect people, a public, from the adverse impacts of the construction activities. Here the stage number one is planning, provision and maintenance of perimeters. For most sites, the perimeter is a geographical area within which construction work will be carried out. Determining this perimeter is an important aspect of managing public risk. Specific areas of risk may occur within the site, such as around deep excavations. Sometimes construction work can create risks outside the site perimeter. For example, unloading materials from a delivery lorry outside the perimeter. Three issues need to be considered. Number one, planning, what form the perimeter will take. Number two, providing the perimeter. And number three, maintaining what has been provided. So these 3 points are very, very important. First, planning. Second, provision. And third, to maintain it, what has been provided. Risk assessment should decide how the perimeters will be defined, what type will be needed to protect the public, and where it should be placed. Factors to consider will include the nature and type of the construction work, how heavily populated is the area, who will need to visit the site during the work, whether the site may attract children, and the other site characteristics. Based on these key points, you have to decide what type of perimeter is required to protect public from the construction area. Dear friends and fellows, when planning for the delivery of materials, there are many positive precautions that can be taken to ensure people outside the site are protected, including eliminate reversing into the street or onto site by providing one-way systems and turning areas within the site where possible, providing specific drive-in loading areas for safer movement of goods onto the site, plan deliveries to make sure they don't coincide with the heavy pedestrian traffic, such as taking children to school. Consider whether the deliveries should be scheduled at times outside of large movements of people, such as rush hours or the journeys to and from school. However, for higher risk activities, such as using cranes or forklift trucks to unload vehicles, it may be necessary to temporarily extend the existing site perimeter while this work is carried out. Alternative pedestrian routes may be required, and this will often need permission from the local authorities. If I will summarize, then in the planning stage, you have to identify the hazards. You have to assess the risk. You have to eliminate risk from construction operations by design or other means if reasonably practicable. You have to define the areas to be protected, and you have to identify what is required at the site perimeter and other areas where people may be at risk. For example, large hoardings 2 meter sectional fencing closed mesh, 1 meter fence, 2 meter fencing broad mesh, security cameras, and our security guards. After the planning stage, you have to provide by erecting the protection, making use of any existing site features, for example, buildings, walls, etc., and erecting warnings, information signs to raise the awareness of the public. And lastly, this is also the responsibility of the employer to maintain by implementing procedures for regular inspection, maintenance, etc., and reviewing in the light of experience and modify accordingly if the conditions demand for modification. Dear friends and fellows, you are on the platform of Safety First Life. Today we are discussing about how the public can be protected with the adverse impacts of the construction activities. During the construction phase, there will be many visitors to the site, both planned and unplanned. Under CDM, the principal contractor is required to take reasonable steps to ensure that only authorized people are allowed on site. Some clients, however, may have specific rules or needs that need to be managed, such as access to an area within a refurbished site, visitors to show homes, etc. The principal contractor, as person in control of the site, should have a system in place to manage the risk to the health and safety of these visitors. The sophistication of these precautions should reflect the size, risk, and complexity of the site and the work. What is suitable for a major project may be quite inappropriate for a small one. But here the focus is on public protection, how to manage and control access for workers and visitors. Remember, you have to implement an authorization system for visitors and ensure those who operate it understand it. This should include a readily identifiable reporting in point, providing safe access between the site entrance and the control point, making sure the route between the entrance and the reporting endpoint is clearly marked, providing appropriate information on the site rules, hazards, and special precautions, provision of personal protective equipment, and making sure people are accompanied around site and issued with specific identity card if needed. This is the way how you can authorize and control the public entry in the construction area. Dear friends and fellows, here are a few examples of construction work activities. I'll not go in depth today. In the upcoming video, I will highlight how the scaffolding, openings, excavations, pedestrian areas, plants, machinery, and equipment, hazardous substances, storing and stacking of materials, electricity and other energy sources, dust, noise, and vibration, falling objects, delivery and other site vehicles, and roadworks, how these activities are adversely impacting the public during the construction project. If you are a safety practitioner or a safety advisor in that specific project, how you can maintain, how you can implement, how you can suggest the precautionary control measures to your management to keep the public safe and protected, and how you can avoid public nuisance and the legal action if there is a complaint by a member of the public. You will learn one by one what are the hazards, what are the dangers, and what are the control measures, but hopefully in the upcoming video. And that's all for today. Training session is over now. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and share the video. Hope to see you soon with a new HSC tutorial. Till then, take care, good luck, and Allah Hafiz.